Hello once again, and thank you for having me back. This is Hassan Matthew, Welfare to Well Off, on our YouTube series. And today we're going to talk about the need for the management of positive emotions. Positive emotions, they're wonderful. Who doesn't love love? Who doesn't love joy? Who isn't elated to be elated? I mean, they're really what we all are working to attain. We're striving to have. We crave them. And they're what make life worth it, in some aspect. However, feeling we should only have these emotions takes away the understanding that life has ups and downs. These positive emotions, yes, they are our default state, or they should be our default state, and that's joy and contentment. They should be a default state, because joy and contentment means we're finding the silver lining in the clouds. We're enjoying the process of our growth. We're realizing that, life isn't always positive. The glass is often half empty as well as half full. I mean, it's both. So, it has its ups and its downs, this life of ours. Also, when we start thinking only of attaining positive emotions and we get there, we start burying away some of the negative emotions that we have. And when we bury away these negative emotions we have, we're quite often ignoring these beautiful signals of themselves. If you're irritated, if you're depressed, if you're sad, if you're frustrated, a lot of these can be signals that something is wrong in life. Or even more so with our social relations, we might be a super positive person and we have a lot of good stuff going on. We're moving and shaking, we're enacting change, we're growing and we're developing. But often, in this case, and I've been guilty of it myself, when I'm on this binge of positivity and just going for my own personal development, I forget that we are social creatures. I forget that I do have loved ones who have their ups and downs as well. And I take their getting frustrated as personal, and then I ignore these signals that it might be a frustration that I'm not giving them enough time, enough attention, enough love. I'm not being there to help foster their personal development, because we are interdependent. We are partners with one another if we're in a healthy relationship. So only striving to be, and we should always strive to be positive. I'm not saying don't strive to be positive and make that default state what we want to, but for me, it's expecting everybody else to be at the same level, or just thinking everybody needs to be positive. Well, yeah, everybody does need to be positive, but you've been negative yourself. It's easier said than done. It can lead to a lot more harm in the long run, and then when we do hit a down, it's not just going to be our own down. We're going to be facing the ramifications of our actions towards others. And only being okay with being okay, meaning feeling that it's not okay to not be okay, will often do just that. It will remove empathy, because when we're okay, and we stop believing or accepting the fact that, sometimes it's okay not to be okay, not only do we start lacking empathy for ourselves and we start kind of hardening up a little bit. And what that does is it has us start to sometimes think less of other people who are not currently okay. We lose our empathy with them, and that's something that's very, very toxic, and quite frankly, it will, alienate us from our loved ones, and that's, a huge portion of what we're doing this for. Self-actualization is, in part, helping actualize others. It's becoming so positive, it's becoming so in tune with ourselves and working on our shortcomings that we become role models for other people. We're going to talk about role models and mentors, so on and so forth. Well, our goal is to get to the level that people want to model us. So it puts roadblocks in the way of our personal evolution, simply put. Just constantly joy. Because we need a little bit of that pain. Nobody's had a rainbow without a little rain. And we'll be talking about this quite a bit more. We'll elaborate and get more into the nitty-gritty of it, but this is an introduction. Be okay with not being okay. You can be positive in a negative situation. you can be positive and still have negative feelings. So don't ignore them and just think life's supposed to be rainbows and lollipops all the time, because it's going to do more harm than good and lead to disappointment with life when it doesn't always go our way, and also lead us to disappoint other people, and that will hurt ourselves much more than we could possibly imagine. So I hope this reaches everybody in the best of health and even better spirits, and that everybody's having a wonderful, beautiful, successful, productive day. And thank you for inviting me back, and I can't wait to see you next time.